Yo, what's happening, guys? So it's been a minute since I've done a trailer breakdown, or even a scene clip breakdown, which is more so what this one is. And come to think of it, it's gonna be a bit of both, because for the most part, I'm gonna be breaking down the clip that we saw Good Morning America, but on top of that, I'm also pulling pieces from the trailers and different things that we got on social media relating to this scene as well. So be advised right now that we could be heading into potential spoiler territory. But even with that said, nothing here is going to be any leaked footage or anything like that. I don't get down with that, so you don't got to worry about that. But the main reason I want to get into this clip that we're given is so we can explore what it's telling us about Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive. And also because after this clip was released earlier this week, I heard some comments from you guys saying that you were concerned about Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive after seeing this. And that's more so what I want to get into, because after watching this clip a bunch of times, and before we really get into breaking it down piece by piece, I just want to start off with saying I don't believe there's anything to worry about, so you can breathe and you can relax. Alright, so first thing I want to get into is what this fight sequence is pulling from. And I think that part is pretty obvious at this point, with Proxima Midnight and Corvus Glaive seen in previous trailers attempting to get the Mind Stone from Vision, who at the time, which we know by the prequel comics, after Captain America Civil War, Wanda Maximoff left from the raft after Captain America freed her and she went directly to Vision, which narratively separated these two characters from the group. However, Captain America, Falcon, and Black Widow, they continue to operate more or less like your secret Avengers. Not sure if they're using that name or not, but if they do, you heard it here first. But they continue searching around for T'Chari tech, getting it out of the hands of smugglers, and really just trying to secretly continue to keep the world safe. And that's where these two groups are before it really goes down. And so when Proxima and Corvus attack Vision and Wanda, possibly walking down the street or something, all the explosions from that and the loud commotion get the attention of the secret Avengers. And Cap, of course, he won't be smiling about it, but you get what I'm saying. But before the secret Avengers arrive, first I believe the plan of attack is going to be made by Corvus Glaive, because planning and strategy is his strong suit, more so than fighting. And he can fight, but Proxima's just better. She's stronger, she's faster, but Corvus, who's pretty much immortal unless his blade is broken, he's more the strategist because he's lived so long and seen so much. And I've got other videos on the playlist for you to check out about Corvus, Thanos choosing him to lead, and even one point in time we sat in the position of Thanos when he was away. And those links will be down in the description for you to check out. But getting into how Vision was taken down and how Corvus was also taken down later on, we gotta talk about Proxima Midnight. And so now as far as Proxima Midnight, her spear, which was built by Thanos, was created from a sun trapped in distorted space-time. And with an attack method of first Proxima then Corvus, which we've seen before in the Infinity series, I believe this is going to be their method to try to take the Mind Gem from Vision, because Proxima's staff is the one-hitter quitter, and once you're stabbed with it, you're held down with the weight of a star. And we've seen this happen in Infinity when she hit the Hulk with her spear, and then Corvus came behind right after, cutting the Hulk, because his blade is extremely sharp enough to the point where it could split atoms. But I believe the reason he wasn't able to take out the Mind Stone from Vision possibly has something to do with the fact that he's made of vibranium. That we won't know for sure until we see the film. But when Vision's down, Proxima then switches her attention back to Scarlet Witch. And this is when Corvus attempts to get the Mind Stone, pretty much leaving Scarlet Witch on her own at this point. And as I mentioned earlier, assuming all the fighting before where all the explosions happened, that got the attention of the Secret Avengers, and that's when they intervene. And this shot right here will possibly be our first look at Captain America in the film, when the team comes to help out Scarlet Witch and Vision. And this part right here is also where I believe where the scene we're about to get into is where it starts off. Because with Cap catching Proxima Midnight's spear, and Proxima more than likely calling it back right away, my guess is that Black Widow caught it in mid-flight and immediately put it to use on Corvus Glaive, first striking his right leg, then turning around and catching him in the stomach. And that's just a guess from me pulling a whole bunch of random stuff together, who really knows? But with Black Widow doing this, she doesn't know that this spear will take down Corvus Glaive and he won't be able to get up, because he's pulled down with the weight of a star. But I was also thinking, with this happening and Black Widow having Proxima Midnight's spear, what would Proxima Midnight be doing in the meantime? And I thought, probably getting bicycle kicked by Falcon. I mean, that just seemed like the logical answer for that. But with Black Widow stabbing Corvus, he's down. He's not getting up. And my guess is once Black Widow kicks him away, Cap does what Widow did, but with Corvus's blade. And when Proxima calls back her spear, Cap jumps in, picks up Corvus's blade, because with Proxima jumping out the gym, Cap already knows Black Widow can't handle that, and that's why he jumps in. But I also believe that it does this because it would give rhythm to the fight choreography, and also tell a story without words that these three have each other's back, because what's a fight sequence without a story involved? It just gives it so much more than a bunch of senseless action. But next up, with Proxima Midnight locking spears with Captain America, just before he has the weight of a sun stabbed into his face, and he's like an inch away from that happening. But two things are important to know here. 1, Proxima Midnight is a little bit stronger than Captain America, and 2, she doesn't want to exert all of her strength and break the staff of Corvus Glaive. And don't take me wrong, she's not like your hulking strength strong type of character, but she is stronger than Cap. And you can tell for a split second by seeing her eyes wide, not exerting all of her strength. But then if we look at Cap, this dude's about to lay an egg. Like, the struggle is real. But keep in mind, like I said, Proxima is not going full force here, because if she breaks the blade of Corvus Glaive, he's dead. And she's not trying to kill her husband in the middle of this fight. And that's how Cap is able to get out of it, hook her, and flip her over. And of course, she leans with her weight into the toss so she can regain her spacing and place an attack on Black Widow. And with Black Widow, we see she has her own 2 shorter staffs which she's fighting with at this point, which can either connect together as a longer staff or break apart into the 2 short ones that we're used to seeing. And we also see here that this new weapon that Black Widow has for Infinity War, that much like its predecessors in the previous films, each piece also carries a charge to stun whoever she's attacking. But immediately after that, Cap knocks Proxima's spear out of her hands, going full force, and before she can call it back, Falcon comes back in, kicking her away. And that's really it. And from there, the only other thing I would mention is just Falcon drawing his guns, which we've seen before, but that really just more so secured the situation, because if Proxima called her spear back, not only would she be shot, but her husband would be left defenseless. And that's really it. Just my perspective and my guesses as a comic book lover, observing the clip, observing the trailers, and in my opinion, it's pretty accurate to the comics. Because this wouldn't be the first time that Proxima Midnight went for Cap and ended up getting Corvus stabbed. So in my opinion, this scene and the trailers we've seen so far are very accurate to the comics, as far as the power level for these two. And on top of that, it also gives us a bit of Black Widow from Avengers 1. But even with that, I'm curious to know what you guys think, so let me know down in the comments and we'll talk about it. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Alright, later.